Good afternoon. It is Wendy from the Freeschoolin Homestead again, and I am standing in front of our pond, which is almost frozen. This is episode 2. I actually managed to get to it within a week, so we're off to a good start. So we can see the creek is still running. There's a lot of wildlife around here. We have river otters, which we really didn't know existed, honestly, in Ontario until this year. We've lived here for 7 years. And up here is the barn. And I was going to go and say hello to River and answer a few questions on that I actually got, this week on River. How does he stay warm in the cold? Now, we haven't had a really cold winter this year, but it can get up to -40 Celsius. So, which is pretty rare, but so it's important that we have adequate ways to keep him warm, which we don't really have to do much because nature has pretty much already done it for him. Even though he's a thoroughbred, when you leave him outside without being blanketed or with any, or stalling him, keeping him out of it. Hey, River. He actually develops his own fur coat, and that's pretty cool. I'm going to open, here's the gate. That's our gate. Right here, I'll show you. This is all real time, no cuts. So hear my ums and ahs. This is the barn. This will span back. That our landlord made for us after we suffered a very serious tragedy, which we won't go into, but we did, and this is why actually we have River. He is a therapy horse, and so much more, of course. And this is his little barn. He can walk in and out as he needs. There's our broken wagon, which works for hay, or sled. And then our wheelbarrow, which we don't use now because there is no way to move it through here. We just kind of generally move everything over to this pile here. See, everything, River's excrement. And then in the spring we clear it all out. And we use it to level out the ground. He actually filled it with sand, the barn. We'll go in and look. Our landlord, when he built it, which is beautiful and all, but this being a very high water table, it turned into some kind of mud, which actually kind of turned into a floor because we got straw, we got the excrement, and then we had the sand, which made for actually a really great floor. It's not actually great right now. Jay said he did the paddock, but it looks like it needs done, so I will be having to do that. We usually clean his paddock every day, but it can get frozen, or sorry, his barn. Every day we can get frozen to the ground. So I will clean that out. Hi, let's say hi to River. He's coming to say hello. Hi, River. I know I'm talking to you through a camera. Want to say hello to me? Hi. How's it going? So I'm just blowing out. And he blew it with me. I'm blowing out just to talk to him. I'm actually an animal communicator, and so I can hear what they say in my head. It's not in words, but in feeling, like they can speak to each other. I'm gonna go around here, around this way, and I can speak back. So he was just saying hello, and I use the breathing to help him understand what I mean. So I didn't want to tell him out loud because I'm talking to you guys. Oh, he's telling me he might need food. No, he's got food. But I was talking to you guys, and I didn't want to interrupt that. While I was talking to him at the same time. It's kind of neat. I can actually multitask that way because they use different communication skills, so I can kind of talk like I am right now to him with you guys. So yeah, as we can see, I'm going to make sure he doesn't turn around and get scared because he doesn't know what I'm doing. So you can see his fur is pretty thick. Hey buddy, will you let me touch? No, not right this second. I know, I'm holding a camera. Let me put this down. Well, he's actually lost some weight from when we got him. He's a little older. He's 21. And this year is the first year that we really focused on the good hay, We are still with the same hay provider, but he got a new machine, which really helped us. And it means his hay is great, and he's actually gaining weight in the winter, which is amazing because he's a senior and a thoroughbred, which we all know, if you know in the horse world, it's harder to keep them on as they're older, and because he's kind of like an athlete, right? He's built for speed. They're not really built for endurance and age, because they don't really do. But he looks great, and I do mean great for his age. You're okay. Did you get stuck in the nose? He's scared. It's because of the camera. We don't do this. We're gonna have to get used to it, eh? So, he stays warm in the winter by growing a nice thick coat. There you go, buddy. There you go. You're all right. Yeah. And by getting out into his barn when it gets too cold. We don't always put the hay out here. Just sometimes kind of give it up a change. He's by himself still. We did have him with a herd, and he actually didn't do very well. We had two herds. There was one small one and one large one. But he doesn't do well because he was so abused. He never really learned. He learned to be the leader, but a fearful leader, and so he frightened everyone, and it was a very dismal environment when he was leader. When I would come into the paddock, I'd become leader and change things, but I can't live in the paddock, although I would love to. I can't. Well, this is his paddock. That's where he hangs out in the summer, and apparently now. Because it's got trees and shade. And in the barn it can get pretty steamy. So there's always a cool place for him. We always make sure that we break a path in the snow so that he can walk through. Sometimes he actually gets scared of the snow. I guess because he was stalled his whole life. He's really lived a free life here. And he really likes it. Here's the airport that we live next to. So River has learned a lot about not being spooked about things, since if you can see, that's literally where they come. And then they take off from here and all the way up there. So yeah, we have big airplanes. The Hercules, several times a year, lands here. And yes, I know what it really is. Several people have asked me if I know what I'm talking about, and I made sure I looked it up just to ensure that I'm not giving it false information. And yes, this is an international airport. It's a Simcoe Regional Airport. Actually, it's not. It is. I know that I just said it's regional. And that's kind of what's misleading about it, is it technically is an international airport, but they've not advertised this to the public. It causes a lot of problems. So I like to stay over here in my beautiful paradise with River. And here's the mounting block. I think that this used to be, like, obviously it's a set of stairs. So I'm thinking that this used to be part of the house, because they've had this land for 40 years or more. People who own the land. And I guess, or maybe they'd had it and they just moved it here, I'm not sure, but it makes a really great mounting block. I'm like the horse. Whenever I get outside, I breathe a lot. People think, "Are you okay?" I say, "Oh no, I'm good. I just act like a horse." And they don't usually. There you go. So I got a nice view from up here. So it's pretty much as far as you can see the tree line. That's where we can go. And even in there's some tree lines we can go in there. That's part of the property. We're very lucky. Very, very lucky. So if you have any questions about, I guess, River or anything you'd like me to tap in on, I have no problem with that being the guide of where I take these. I'd like to bring you guys some recipes and just some things that we do at home, obviously some homeschooling stuff, because we are a radically unschooling family. We school at home, or not, we unschool at home, or anywhere for that matter, because, oh, we can see it. You can see it from there. All right, so we're getting cut short by a helicopter. Yay. So I'm going to say goodbye for this week. I don't know how often I'll be updating. So far, once a week sounds pretty cool. Maybe even more as this gets easier and I less. It's been really great talking to you guys. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye from the Freeschoolin Homestead.